I was blocked by YouTube. Apparently, anybody can block somebody's video for copyright content. And I couldn't figure out what it was. I'm thinking, was this a service? That's what I figured it was, but all the music has been approved. So then I looked and found it, and it turns out it's a piece of scenery. Unbelievable. How can, out of a video, one little segment of land being shown be a copyright infringement? Okay, so obviously this is like really out there. So what I'm going to do right now, because I feel like this is important message anyway, it was a word from God. It was November 20th. I'm going to go ahead and play it, and basically we're redoing it, okay? So let me just pull this up very quickly. There's nothing going to be shown but the little bits of the starting of it, which shouldn't be a problem. Good morning, guys. I'll tell you, God's been speaking, and last night he gave me, he spoke something to me, and then this morning he spoke again about something else. And I went out to talk to my husband for a minute. And as I did, I started telling him what the Lord is showing me. I said, I think I'm going to go live today because of this. So, and I started telling him, and as I did, the Lord fell all over me. And I just started going, and he's just looking at me because the Holy Spirit just fell all over me, and I just started going. And I said, I gotta go. So here I am. All right. And this is what he said. Hello, Christine. I hope you're doing well, honey. So this is what he said. Last night, I was sitting in my chair resting after the service, and he said, you must pass the test. I knew right away what he was saying is this is what I need to talk about next. And then this morning, I was sitting having my morning coffee, and suddenly he said, where can I find faith? Where shall I find faith? Radical faith. And then he started giving me what should come out of the mouth of those with radical faith. And he said, my God shall sustain me. My God shall protect me. My God shall uphold me with his right hand. And I said, Lord, I will talk about those things. And as I started telling my husband, he started coming all over me. This is what he's looking for, guys, radical faith. This is what you're going to need in this hour of time, is radical faith to stand the test of time with the trials, with the persecution, with whatever's coming, with lack. Okay? This is why he's saying he's looking for radical faith who will say from their mouths, instead of saying, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? You're going to say, my God shall sustain me. My God will protect me. My God will uphold me with his right hand. And remember what I said. He showed me when you are in his hands, he is guiding, protecting, maneuvering your life. Maneuvering. He's working things out for your good and his glory. When I see him put his arms around you, he's being the Father and comforting and reassuring and restoring. Okay? Because a lot of times when I get words for somebody, suddenly I'll see the Lord come up on their left and put his arm around them or embrace them from the front or whatever. This is when he's letting you know, I love you, I'm comforting you, I'm here for you. But he's all things to you. And then when I was out there, he started talking about, he told me this morning as well, but when I was out there, he's talking to my husband, he just started showing up. And I'm like, I gotta go so I can get this down, get this out to you guys. But he was talking about the passing of the test last night. And he said it was like a job. He said, like any job, you have to go through a time of training. You have to go through a time of testing. And you have to pass the test or you don't get the job. He said, this is what I'm asking you right now. You must pass the test. Now, does that mean you'll pass everyone? Probably not. But you must pass enough of them to show the Lord that your heart is true, that your heart is pure. And he said, when those who have passed the test, what they'll be doing is showing me that they are seeking out their first love. That they want me more than anything else, more than the cost it will take. What are the tests, he said, that you need to pass? He said the passing of the test, the main one is obedience. You must pass this test, God said, in obeying everything I ask of you. If I ask you, the Lord is, he's getting stronger and stronger. The Lord is saying, if you want to be used for my glory, if you want to be used to bring in the last harvest, will you not need to pass every test that I give you? How can I be using someone who refuses to listen to the Lord their God? Who can I use when you disobey what I ask you to do? How can you follow the chain of command, says God, if you disobey what I ask you in the simplest things? Things that maybe mean a lot to you, but are minimal compared to bringing in the harvest, are minimal compared to what I'm about to ask you to do for me. And it will cost you. What are those things, says God? It is things of giving. It is things of obedience. When I ask you to give away or sacrifice something great in your eyes, what would those things be, says God? Maybe it's a car you just got. And I'm telling you to give that car to so-and-so. And you're like, but God, that's all I have. Do you not know that I am capable of giving you more than enough? Do you not know, says God, that when I ask you to give out, it's not because I can't do it myself. It's because I have a blessing to give you. It's because there's something greater behind it. And if you would just follow in obedience, you will see my hand move in your life, and you will see gifts and blessings fall bestowed upon you. Do you understand, says God? Do you understand that when I say give of your best, it's not because I can't give it through somebody else. It's because I want to use you. I have chosen you to use, to be my hands and feet and my mouthpiece, to be the giver that I want to give to somebody else to bless them. But do you not understand that what you give out will come back onto you? That's why I say, says God, to speak life and not death in the tongue, because what you speak, what you do, your actions, all of it will fall back on you. When you speak death, death will fall back on you. When you speak life, life falls back on you. When you speak scripture, it comes to pass because it cannot come back void. Therefore, when you are obeying the Lord your God and you have proved you so I can be a blessing, now locusts have taken, you have seen the blessings of God beginning to fall upon your lives. Many of you have seen the things that the locust and Satan has stolen from you being given back. Do you see it? Some of you have not. You are still in the time of testing. You are still in the time of refining and refiring, and you're still not quite there with your faith to believe for it. But you must believe. You must stand radically on the spiritual legs given you. For when you do, says God, when you prove to me I can trust you, that you will follow the chain of command, you will then be in line to be used for the glory of God in these last days. But you must pass the test. You must pass the trials, just like in a job. This is a job the Lord God is looking through to and fro where he can find those with such faith. Where can I find those with such obedience and such dedication to the Lord their God? Where can I find those with such loyalty, with such love in their hearts for me, that they will pay whatever cost it takes? Where can I find those with such love in their hearts for their fellow man, that they would rather stay and work than be in the glory of God in paradise? Yes, many are seeking out to be raptured, to get away, but there are those of mine. One who speaks to you now is one of them, who says, Lord, I want to be in heaven. Yes, I can't wait for the rapture, but Lord, use me now. And if the rapture comes, can I still come back and work? Can I still come back and help those that are still lost? Can I still come back and help those who are still lukewarm, who have not woken up, Lord? Because God, this could be me out there. This could be my family, and some are. This could be me. So, Lord, may I come down because you love them as much as you love me. May I, Lord, bless you, be a delight to you. This is what the Lord is seeking for you to be. May I bless you, God. May I delight you in coming back, even though I could have it so much easier. But I know, Lord, that you have me. I know that you will sustain me. I know that you will protect me. I know that you will uphold me with your right hand. I know that you will have have angels guiding me and protecting me. Let me be that light, Lord. Let me be that beacon of light in this dark world, which is getting only darker. And the Lord is saying, this is what I seek from my children. These are the ones who are the few that are chosen. These are the ones who are willing to pay the price. These are the ones who are willing to give up their lives. To give up their agenda, to give up their things even, so be it. And this is why I am saying you must pass the test. You must prove to me that you will follow the chain of command. For when I bring my army forth, and yes, it is soon to come, I am going to bring my army forth. And when I do, it will be an army that is obedient. Excuse me. It will be an army that is obedient to the Lord's voice. It is an army that is listening intently for the voice of God to whisper in their ears, go now, stop, stand down, do this, go there. And the angels will guide you and transform you and bring you to the places you need to be. Do you understand that I'm going to do a work in these last days that have never been known to man? Do you understand that many those who are chosen, which are few, but even the few, there are more that I could take if you would just pass the test, if you will show me radical faith. For I am searching the earth now. I am making the divide. Do you understand? That time is now where I am dividing and I am shifting and I am testing and I am refining and I am firing, because the reason for it is to find those who will follow the chain of command, who have a true and pure heart, who are seeking after God with all their soul, with all their strength, with all their might. Do you understand? It is those that are sold out, thrown down, face forward before the Lord their God, in not always literally, but they are there before the Lord their God to say, God, take me, here am I will do whatever you ask. And they mean it from the bottom of their hearts. Do you understand? They worship me from the depths of their soul. They mean it with all their being. There's not a part of their cell, of their body, that does not worship me, that does not long for me. This is what I'm looking for. Radical, radical, radical. Radical faith, radical obedience, radical everything. Nothing matters in their eyes but me. This is what I'm looking for. Because it's going to take a child of God that is sold out to go forth and do the work that's about to be done. It will be exhausting. It will be a wearing on the soul, because what you see will be bad. What you see will be devastation. As you've seen in California, this is only the beginning. And I need my children to go out and show the love of God and rescue those who I say rescue. Speak to those who I bring in your path. Speak to those who I say speak, and say this: you will need to be so close to me, hand in hand, so tightly, that I am in you and you are in me, and you will know that you know that you know that your Lord has spoken. You will hear with your ears everything I have to say, and you will know exactly what to do. And because you are that special child who is willing to lay down all, you will be obedient without question. This is what I'm looking for, says God. Obedience without question. Yes, Lord, I'll give it. Yes, Lord, I'll do it. Yes, Lord, I'll go there. Yes, Lord, I trust you. Trust without question. Blind trust. As I have said earlier, blind trust, says God. And obedience without question. Do not question it. If you're questioning it, if you're getting double-minded, you will fall. You will falter. You will not be following the chain of command if you question the commander. Do you understand? In a war, when you have men in a war, they do not question the commander. They do not say, but look, what about if they don't have time. War is war, and there is much devastation. There is much calamity. And when the army is out there, they just say, yes, sir, and they get to doing the command that was laid before them. Do you understand that this is what we need? There is not time to bicker and argue with God. God is perfect. God is all-knowing. God is the great I am. Why would you go against me? Why would you say, Lord, but, no. For you need to have full trust in the Lord your God. You need to be ready. If you want to be in the army, pass the test. If you want to be in the army, trust without question. If you want to be in the army, obedience without question. If you want to be in the army, I need your radical faith, radical stance. Stand for the Lord thy God with all your heart, with all your soul and with all your might. For the time is now that I'm soon to call you out. So I am readying you, and readying you again and again and again. Are you ready? Are you ready, says God? If you are, then get to the forefront, because I'm ready to call. If you are not, fall upon your faces with a humble, repenting heart and tell me, God, do whatever it takes. Here am I will go. But you must be willing to pass the test. You must be willing to go through the firing and the refining, and it's not pleasant. But as a pearl is buffeted and filed, and as gold is burned severely and goes over and over until it is melted, I will mold you and melt you and buffet you, and I will do whatever it takes, just like a potter does the clay. I will slap and maneuver, and then I will glaze you with the beautiful shine of the glory of God. And when I am done with you, you will shine. You will shine with the glory of the Lord thy God Most High, the great I am, upon your faces. You will be as though you are human, but you are not. You will be supernatural in nature of all that you can accomplish, because the Lord your God has done a great work in you and has brought to perfection what I have started. But it comes at a cost. It comes at a sacrifice. It comes from obedience. Do you understand, says God? This is what I seek. Where now shall I find this kind of faith? Will I find it in you, says the Lord? Will I find that radical faith in you? Will I find a child who says, yes, Lord, here go I? Will I find that type of obedience? Will I find a person that says, bring it on, Lord, whatever your testings is, help me to do it. Help me to pass it. And when I fail, I will apologize with a humble and repenting heart, and I will get back up and put back on my armor, and I will say, okay, God, let's go again. Because I need people, the Lord says, that are not quitters. I need people that don't lay down and cry, but reach up their hands and say, Lord, pick me back up. Here am I. Do you understand the difference, says God? There are those that wallow in self-pity. There are those that say, well, why should I have to go through this? I'm a child of the Most High God. Why not, says God? Why not? Did not my apostles and my disciples go through much? Why should you not? Why should you not go through trials and persecution? Why should you not? Did they not persecute and hate me? Will they not all the more hate you and persecute you because you are one of mine? Why would I make it easy for you? Isn't it so true that children who are spoiled have no structure, have no character, have no stance? They are self-centered, selfish, entitled. Do you understand? They are weak. I need children who are strong. I need children who don't mind being buffeted and maneuvered and reworked like a piece of clay and like a piece of gold. I will melt you down and it will not feel comfortable. But when I am done, you will shine like that diamond in the rock. You will have the glory of God just radiate from your being because you have gone through it. But in the end, you will be a child like no other. You will have character. You will have spiritual and physical strength beyond measure. Do you understand? You will not feel entitled. You will feel honored to work for the Lord your God. You will not feel deprived. You will feel blessed. Do you understand? Because your attitudes are changed. You are changed in the twinkling of an eye, says God. That twinkling of an eye is soon to come. And in a minute, in a second, in a flash, you blink your eyes and I will have changed you. You will know then that you have arrived. You have gotten there. You are one of the army of God. This is the time, because the final firing is getting done now. I am starting to separate. I am starting the divide. And the goats will go to the left, and those of mine shall go to the right. Choose this day, says God. Which do you prefer? But know this, I will not be easy on you, not because I don't love you, but because I do, and because I wish to have you as my own, because I wish to make you something greater than anyone could ever have comprehended. In order to do that, I need to bring you through it all. I need to finish what I've started, and I will perfect it. You will be perfect, God says. You will be my perfection, my craftsmanship. They will see the Lord's hand upon your life. They will see the Lord's hand upon you when you come and you walk to and fro and you do God's will. They will know that one is of the Lord Most High. That one belongs to God. Oh my goodness, the glory of God is shining upon their face. They know that came with a cost. They were not willing. Some will have to pay later. But they won't be used like you will now if you're willing. Do you understand, says God? It is up to you. I lay it out there for all because I wish to use all in the last of days. There'll be many, many of harvest to bring in, but the workers will be much less than what I would prefer. That does not matter, says God, because you know, I am above it all. I am greater than all. I can take 3 men to take down 300. Do you understand? Just like in days of old, the armies were great against my own, and yet they won. Why? Because I, their God, stood beside them. Because they were obedient to my word. Because they passed the firings. They passed it all. They went through the testings. And those that failed paid the price. Those that failed, I see the one hitting the rock or hitting the ground 3 times, and he should have done it 5. And because he didn't obey fully, whatever the reason why, because he didn't have knowledge of it or what, maybe he wasn't close enough to hear God's voice, I don't know. But the Lord just showed me that hitting the ground with a stick or some kind of a club is what I'm seeing. He hit it 3 times, but there'd be 5 wars, and he only hit it 3, so he only won 3. This is what God is showing me to show you. If you want it, you must seek after him. You must want him more than anything. Pass off going out to lunch and go sit with your Father. Lord, prepare me. Get me ready. I'm ready. Get my armor on. Help me to keep it on. Show me what to do. Show me whatever you want to change of me. Take it, Lord. I feel an urgency in my spirit that this is coming soon. I don't know how soon. I just know that he's bringing a lot of preparation lately. For weeks now, it's preparing you, preparing you, preparing you. And now he's saying, if you want it, you need to. It's like the final draw. This is what I'm feeling. That he's actually literally separating now. And you're going to run out of time if you slack. And you will be left to be one that is having to be protected, that is having to come. The army of God will be helping you, in other words. The ones who are left to stay through the full tribulation will be the ones who were lukewarm, the ones who weren't ready, the ones said, that's too much for me. Those are the ones, not the ones that are not saved. Okay? You could be saved and still not go. It's not because he doesn't love you. It's because he's looking for complete sacrificial obedience. And if you don't do it, he can't take you. It's like any job he showed me. If you go to hire for a job and they put you through the testing and you fail, you don't get the job. That's why they have a trial period. You have a 90-day trial period, 30-day trial period. He said, this is your trial now. This is your trial period now. If you will pass it, I will take you. If you don't, you will be left. And you will be part of the harvest that needs to get through it. Okay? Many will fall away during this time, says God. He wants you to hear this. Many of those who call themselves mine, but were not ready, and so they were not taken in the army of God. They were not taken as part of the remnant of God. He said, many of you who will be left, who have hardened their hearts that way, will harden further. Those that will do that, many, that's the great falling away. Many more shall fall away out of the spirit of fear that will fall upon them. They'll be so afraid because they were not strong enough at the time that this took place. Their legs, their spiritual man legs, were not strong enough to hold them up. They didn't have the faith and the love for me that they needed, says God. They did not have that radical love, that radical faith. They did not pass the testings. So when the time came and the darkness was completed, they will fail. And they will run farther from me and not to me. It is my wish, says God, that my army will go forth in obedience and will win even those that were once mine. But the hardness of their hearts on many will wax cold, and many will take the sacrifice of the mark because of fear, because of being frightened from lack, from persecution. from the pain they might feel. And sadly, many then will be lost, and the falling away will be great. Oh, Lord Jesus. God, we stand in the gap for those right now. Okay, guys. Wow, that was, I mean, I could feel the Spirit of God all over that word. I was just rocking. The Spirit of God was so strong. This was from November 20th, this past year. So, you know, what, 4 months ago. The thing is, as I'm listening to it, I can see how it lines right up even right now. It's still, we're not, this, it's not like a past word that has no meaning. This is a now word still. And everything that I was saying in there was God speaking about what he wants from us. You know, there's some other things I've been praying on. There's this thing about the 3 days of darkness. I was praying heavily last night to the Lord, and I was just like, God, what do I say? What do you want me to say about this? And so I'm still in prayer about it. I'm thinking, last night while I was in bed, I was talking to him about it. I'm thinking to go live about what I know of it and what I feel. And as far as details about the 3 days of darkness, God has not shown me. But I will go live later and talk more about it. The thing is, this was, hello, greetings from India, good. This was a video that was taken down yesterday or last night, whatever, by somebody by what was it, MBC. Let me go back up. Okay, let's just shut this off. This is the part that you can't see. NBC. This little section here, they say, between 1348 to 1620 play match, it doesn't even make sense, that video somehow is infringing upon them. Amazing. It just blows me away. So that's fine. We'll just keep working this for glory, because they can't block with amazing all words. So, you know, this is really good. But what I'll start doing, where I used to have, when I give words, you know, the roaming pictures and stuff, apparently somebody's offended by the grass or something that reminds them of something that they did. I don't know. This doesn't make this doesn't make any sense. But what I want you to know is I'm not going to sit and let these be blocked unless there's no way for me to redo it in some way. I'll just redo it and just do whatever they're saying. Because if it's a word from God, they can't shut me up. All they can do is say there's a copyright issue, which, I mean, seeing some grass being filmed, I don't see how, you know, some river, I don't understand that. So anyway, we'll just take it from there. But what I want to say to you is really take heed to this word. As I was listening to it, the Spirit of God is very heavy on it. It is a now word. Please take heed to this. I got a feeling we're kind of getting to the point of winding up. And that's why he's having me redo this, okay? I pray you all have a great day. I need to go into a lot of prayer and before I come on live about the 3 days of darkness, okay? I love you guys. Bye-bye.